5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Hey! Good evening and welcome to another episode of Star Trek Adventures. Or should I say, good evening and welcome to another episode of that show where we accidentally on purpose blew up an entire Klingon outpost last week. Where we have,
Not
of
my
course,
fault. Not my fault. I accidentally pressed the fire button.
yes, you accidentally butt dialed a few photon torpedoes right into their power
Yeah,
supplies.
that wasn't my fault. That was Tabby's fault. He jumped on me, thinking I had catnip.
So I am your game master for the evening. Master of the games. I don't know. I'm not that great at it, but I am learning as we go. And tonight with me is Sir Patrick Furlong, who's playing Ferengel, and Sir James Petts, who is playing Tabby. We are waiting on our third. I have completely forgotten what I was going to say there. Oh, it started really gone. Tonight we are waiting on our third member, who is Lieutenant T. Dowd, who you may know from A Question of Trek. He is unfortunately unable to arrive right now because of stuff that's going on at home, but he will get or is it at home? Well, he's got an emergency, let's put it that way, and there may be things going on, and he's going to arrive at some point. So I thought we'd start by seeing if any of you can remember what the hell we were doing.
I think we were playing some kind of game.
I blew up a Klingon outpost.
You did blow up a Klingon outpost. Can you remember? Can anyone remember why?
I have a vague recollection there was some kind of infection with some of the fellows on the ship.
Yes, that is it. Exactly. Last week on Star Trek Adventures, there was a Klingon outpost that had been infected by neural parasites. A parasite had apparently infiltrated part of the Klingon outpost and was attempting to do experiments on the people on board the outpost. And then it turned out everyone was dead on the outpost, and then you blew up the outpost. So Lieutenant Dowd at the time did say the Klingons probably weren't going to be all that unhappy because they probably would have done the same thing in the situation, but we have to still find out whether that is true. Meanwhile, you have what was it? Meanwhile, you've also been informed that this station was being discussing all of its findings with something in the Cardolan system. So that is where the ship will be going this week. And while I'm on with that, can we just say hello to Trains, Kits, etc. and Krista Duke, who are in the chat. Hi there. I don't know why I'm going cheers, but cheers. Tonight's beverage of choice is cappuccino. How about you guys?
Caffeine-free Dark Coke, because that's all I have.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Oh, we need the link to dice, please.
Oh yes, the dice. I do remember the dice. I remembered this. It was right on my mind. Honest. I didn't forget. Honest.
It's just on your spare mind, the one that you've got kept downstairs in the basement for the time being.
Yeah. For those who missed last night's live stream where I mentioned that I might be a bit off my game tonight, I have been to the hospital today to have some checks run, and apparently I'm still alive, which is nice.
Good start, I find.
Yes, and it was weird. They did I've mentioned this to James. They did what was very similar to ground penetrating radar that was used on Time Team. They did that on my liver to see what was going on in it. So here we are. I'm going to put this into the chat. Dice roller. Let's all roll some dice. Dice roller. Sorry. I don't know what that was about. I am also reaching for my dice because I have Actual dice. Hey! This allows me to do secret rolls that you guys can't see in order to find out whether things that need to be done will happen or not. Haha! So I have my 2 D20s, and we'll need some D6s as well for the inevitable combat situations. There we go. I have this brilliant one here, though, while we're waiting to see if Lieutenant Dowd turns up. Look at this one. How weird is that?
And a curious number of sides.
Yeah, it's a 3-sided die. How cool is that? So it goes 1, 2, or 3, and that's all it can roll.
Intriguing.
Yeah, it's a prism. It can't land on those sides, so there's no need to put numbers on it.
Oh, yes, I see. Yes, that's quite clever.
That's cool.
I see somebody extremely fluffy is in vain. Hello,
Amelia. How are you
little white
doing?
balls.
Well, she's not in a very good mood with her daddy.
Oh,
because I put the latest flea drops on her today.
Oh, I got Fred used to me just stroking her while she was eating, so that's when I did flea drops. So just stroke, flea drop. It took me a while to get her used to it. Let's put it that way.
Oh, sweet little cat.
And of course, the caltrop, the universal caltrop, a 4-sided die, which, if you've ever stood on one, is worse than Lego.
Much to be said for wearing slippers while running around at home, and also not leaving dice on the floor.
Yeah, but sometimes they fall off the table and you don't notice in the middle of an intense role-playing session. It's like, you're really going for that dragon. Ow! What was that? So, shall we start? We can play along as if Lieutenant Dowd is here, and then when he arrives, then we can bring him in seamlessly, and no one will notice that he wasn't here because we'll make it look as if he was here all the time.
Okay,
even though I've already mentioned.
My first move is to throw some catnip.
Okay, well, while you're throwing catnip, allow me to introduce the scene. So we are on our way to the Cordolan system. Ship's records show a Klingon outpost on the 6th moon of Cordolan 4, a gas giant. The Klingons mined the frozen moon for diamagnetic ore until abandoning the operation during the economic disarray that followed the destruction of Praxis over 70 years ago. Diamagnetic ore produces a destructive field akin to atmospheric electrical storms. It scrambles sensor readings and communications. As such, it makes the forgotten and out-of-the-way location a suitable place for those who wish to operate in secret. So, as we enter the system, I am going to ask you if you want to conduct an initial sensor sweep on the really nice ship that we've got, the USS Enigma.
Yes, we'll do scans, please.
Okay. I will need you to do a reason plus science task.
What, reason plus science, 8 and 5, so that'll be 13.
Okay. If you can do that with the 2d20.
2d20. 20 and 20.
20 plus 20. So that's, I think that's 2.
14.
Oh, because it's 13. So that's 2 fails. However, the ship does assist sensors plus science. I have got to quickly find what our ship's sensors and science are in the book. Because we're a Galaxy class, aren't we? We're a Galaxy class ship. So give me a quick time to find this out. Where is it? Intrepid class? No, Galaxy class. Galaxy class. Where is the Galaxy class? Oh, please tell me it's here. 71. Page 71. That part of role-playing that no one ever mentions, looking in the damn book to try and find one piece of information. Okay, you'll love this. This is in the index as if it's important. Page 71 is a picture of a Galaxy-class ship and no information whatsoever. That's in the bloody index. Oh my goodness, Star Trek Adventures, what were you thinking? Let me try and find another reference. Oh, 245 to 46. Oh my god! I can't believe they did that. Actually, I can believe they did that because some tech nerds from Star Trek will go, "Oh, hey!" Right, here we go. We're getting close now. 245, 246. Ah! Now I've got the information. Sensors plus science. And hello to Captain Dowd. Hello there. How are you doing?
I'm okay, thank you. I'm so sorry.
Hey, don't worry about it.
Too late.
Okay, sensors plus science on a Galaxy-class ship is 10. It's probably not going to help an awful lot, but here we go. Ho ho! 2 successes. So that is pretty good. Okay, we get the following information from the initial sensor sweep. The Cordolan system contains 12 planetary bodies. 5 outer planets, they're frigid, K-class worlds with methane and nitrogen atmospheres. 4 ringed Class J gas giants follow, with the 3 remaining inner planets being Class H worlds, with temperatures that are hostile to humanoid life. This is not the kind of place that you'd want to go on holiday. It's not exactly right, sir. However, the gas giant Cordolan 4 has 24 rocky, frozen moons, and the mining outpost is on the 6th moon. So, I'm going to assume that you want to go into orbit.
Yes, please.
Got a nod from Tabby, and Patrick says yes, and I've dropped a dice because I should not be left in charge of small objects. I have no idea what that meant. Okay. Oh, there it is.
Choking hazard.
Yes, I should not be left in charge of these. Look at the size of that. I mean, come on. Who would leave a 42-year-old woman in charge of a square?
Some numpty or other.
Okay, I'm going to assume that Tabby is perfectly capable of flying the ship into the right place because Tabby is still at... Okay, there we are. Tabby is still at the controls there. Okay, that was not what I wanted to do. I've just moved the entire thing. Sorry about that. There we go. All I wanted to do was highlight where you were. Hey, mega dice are needed, says Transkits. Yes,
Oh my God,
mega dice, mega dice, mega dice. I actually have a mega dice. No, I'm not going to get it. It's about that wide. It's bigger than my head, and it's made of wood, and it's a 6-sided dice, but it's actually an ornament. You can roll it, but I probably shouldn't. Okay, so we're going into orbit as I lose the plot even more. Okay, let's go into orbit. Okay, as we get into orbit, the effects from the diamagnetic field start to affect our sensors. However, if you want to, you can still do a sensor scan. It will just be more difficult. So we get into orbit. Would you like to run a scan of this outpost before we decide what to do about going down?
Seems wise.
Okay, I will need another reason plus science from whoever wants to run the scans.
Oh, let me find my thing.
I've got the same score as Patrick, so let's see what Dowd has.
And that's why 2 screens are useful.
Sorry, let me
just on Messenger.
download.
I just have really, really small windows that I'm working on.
No, I'm just unprepared. That's my.
Yeah, but you're here, and that's what counts. And you seem okay. Are you doing okay?
Oh yeah. No. Let's just say that due to a fire, my 3-bedroom, 2-bath house is now a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house.
This is suboptimal.
No, I'm teasing. We had to have a brief little house meeting, and that's all it was. It just went into overtime. Science and reason, was it?
Reason plus science. Yeah, I'm gonna say this to all of you. If there's any reason that you don't feel like you want to be here tonight because of like a problem, do say so. You don't have to come along every week.
This is the highlight of my week, Zoe. Don't take it away.
Oh,
Don't
wow.
take it away.
My God. Even more than question of Trek.
And my support worker says I need more take her into actions.
I'll exercise discretion. Naomi may watch this.
And I really shouldn't have asked that. It wasn't diplomatic.
You put me in a right awkward position. You did.
Talking without thinking is why I'm not a politician anymore.
I can see how that might be a barrier to success. So 17 is my score for that.
Whoa.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me. Now that I've said that, make sure I meant it. Reason is 12. Science is 5. Yeah, 12. So 17.
Okay. So would you like to do the sensor scan?
Well, because success is lower than that, right?
Yes, anything lower than that.
Oh shoot! I need my. Oh my God! I'm a right mess tonight. This afternoon for me. But let me just call up the dice thing I use. Sorry. I feel like.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
I feel like a right turnip. Here we go. So 2d20, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, let me just call that up. You know, drop-down menus.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you click on something, you know you're old when your year of birth is no longer visible in a drop-down menu. That's just depressing.
Oh, tell me about it. I hate getting to that age. It's like, no.
Well, you're not quite there yet.
I am.
I'm 44 next weekend.
Gosh, well done. Hope there'll be cake.
Next weekend, we'll have to celebrate. Next. I'll bake a Jabalian fudge cake, which, if it's anything like Neelix's, looks nothing like fudge. It's blue and gaudy, and it'd probably make you pee blue for the next 3 days from all the food coloring.
Well, two friends from my church group are making me lemon drizzle cake.
Oh, don't make me feel like I'm missing out, man. I have to go on a diet. It's not fair.
As long as the diet includes lots of cake, you'll be fine.
I wish it did.
Well, would it surprise you to know, Zoe, I'm 17 stone.
That's thin compared to what I am. You guys know I have lupus, and every time I have a flare-up, I end up having to, like a bad flare-up, not like the one I've just had. I have to go on the steroids to reduce the problem, which of course make you put on weight. So all that happens is every time I try to lose weight, I get a flare-up and then end up putting more on. I am now twice the woman I was when I was married.
But would it be all muscle because you're steroid? No.
I wish. It just goes on as fat and then it doesn't come off.
Not even you couldn't just pee it out overnight or anything.
I wish.
That's jolly unfair.
I would love to get on some of that medication that reduces your weight. That all the stuff that's going on at the moment. Yeah. But
well, it's meant for blood sugar. It's meant to reduce blood sugar. Because I was on it for a while when I was having trouble regulating blood sugar as a consequence of something else. And yeah, I don't remember realizing any weight loss properties. Maybe I wasn't taking enough of it, but it was dead easy. Like you didn't even feel the jab from the auto injector. Yeah, it was great. Anyway, I rolled a 7 and a 6.
So 2 successes. My goodness. So
here's hoping.
You have managed to hit it because it was a difficulty of 2. So during your orbital scan, you see that the outpost's antimatter reactor is operational. There are life signs. Sensors indicate multiple life signs, but because of the interference, you can't pinpoint exactly where they are. So there we go. Would you like to spend some momentum? You have 4 momentum points at the moment. If you'd like to spend momentum, then I can give you a bit more information.
No, an easier way to get some information.
We're not shooting them from orbit.
I wasn't thinking that one this time.
You're getting a reputation, Farringale, I'm afraid.
I was gonna beam some catnip over and get Tabby to investigate.
Sorry, I hate to do this, but what are we in orbit of a planet, a space? Where are we?
Okay, we're in orbit of a moon around a gas giant. We're in the Cordolis system, which is in Klingon territory, and they used to mine diamagnetic ore here. But after the explosion of Praxis, it wasn't a viable area anymore. So it's kind of just become a backwater area.
Okay.
Do we have any idea who is actually supposed to be on this moon?
Just a few Klingons. It's essentially, again,
Klingons
another punishment patrol area. A few Klingons.
Just a bunch of Klingons off the starboard bow.
Yes, Klingons on the starboard. I'm going to have that in my head all night now.
It is a catchy tune. It
really is.
Yeah. Don't sing it until bedtime, when you can wind Jenny up with it.
Yes. Don't tempt me. But yeah, it's just normally it would just be a few Klingons essentially maintaining the place.
So
Okay.
the scan result that we have had is consistent with what we'd expect. But of course, we also know that there are communications between this area and the ship that had the questionable people on it.
Yes. So your next step would likely be to go down. However, you have a choice. Would you like to beam down or take the transporter? Sorry, what? Would you like to beam down or use a shuttle? Both of them, due to the diamagnetic interference, do pose some risks. It's not as easy as just point and click.
Well, I volunteered my good friend Tabby to beam down to investigate.
You can't just send one person. And they might not come back.
And in the meantime, me and Lieutenant Darrell will use the shuttlecraft.
Oh, so you're going to beam Tabby down to unlock the door, are you?
It's a race.
Going to me with a red shirt as well.
Yeah, well, that's the plan.
Oh.
And because he's feline, he can attack any hostile Klingons.
He's not a tribble. He's not the natural enemy of the Klingons.
I think I'd be better off attacking small mice or fish or birds than very large creatures. I'm not a lion.
Well, we're a Klingon for that matter.
Reach the transporter room 3, beam Tabby directly to the Klingon outpost.
So, here are my notes. So I need to look at my notes.
Hey, don't worry about it. So the question is, are you all going down together or separately?
Well, it seems that I'm going to be beamed down to the outpost. Whether
you
arrive
can say no.
Well, I think strictly I'm a lower rank than Ferren Gale, aren't I? So I'm not sure I can.
That's why I'm sending Tabby down, because I outrank him.
Oh my goodness!
Or we could all take a shuttle, which will have lots of science equipment on it. Is it a shuttle or a runabout? What have we got in the garage?
In the garage.
There's no reason why we couldn't have a runabout in the shuttle bay.
Technically, there isn't a reason why you couldn't. We just usually use shuttles.
Well, Enterprise D had runabouts in Emissary.
Did that? Yeah, but were they carrying them?
They have to drop them off.
When you say runabout, are we talking sort of an SUV with some skis in the boot?
No, a runabout is a warp-capable ship, but it's just small. It's basically a mobile home, whereas a shuttlecraft is like a really big car.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
But it's got better science equipment.
It can have a lab in it. It'll have more enhanced sensors than a shuttle.
Better shields. Better phasers.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say the Enigma has a runabout on board.
Okay.
You could
And
use
he's
a
bound to have
runabout.
he's bound to have a few torpedoes aboard as well.
Oh, this is what you actually wanted it for, isn't it? You're going to blow the place up again.
I think what we're dealing with, is, so far as we understand, is the possibility of an infestation of the little fellows that reside in people's brains and make people do difficult things.
Mhm.
So we may wish to be protected against both the full-sized people who are doing things under the control of these little fellows, and also the little fellows themselves. We should probably better wear these environmental suits we wore last week, or the week before last, I think it was, and
Well,
also have some kind of weaponry with us.
Well, wouldn't bring you over without one.
Okay, so I'm going to say that you're authorized to use environmental suits and phaser rifles.
And a
So-
runabout?
And yes, they will be on the runabout.
Okay, then.
So are you taking the runabout, eh?
Yes, please.
Very well. I'm going to need someone to pilot that. This is
Come
a
on, Tabby.
Tabby is
I don't
piloting,
think-
apparently. This would be a reason plus con task.
Well, okay, reason is
12.
11, the con is 2.
So 13.
I'm
13.
the same. 12 and 1, so
And it's a
13.
Okay.
difficulty.
I've got 8 and 4.
It's a difficulty 2 task. So whoever does it, I'm gonna suggest that you spend momentum, at least 1 point of momentum, so that you can essentially buy 1 success.
Yes, let's do that, shall we?
Yeah.
And I've been
Okay.
nominated. So shall I roll this? Is it a 2 20-sided die?
It is, yeah.
Nice, yes. Oh, right, I've got 5 and 19.
So you got a success. Excellent. I am now going to find the stats for runabout since they're not in the thingamajig and in the
The Danube class ships with
yeah.
a maximum warp capacity of warp 5.
The Milton has a Caspian class, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you class runabout 235, page 235. There it is. Okay, Daniel class runabout. So it's assisting with the flight according to the information I've got here. Where is it? Computer plus con. Computer.
And the best thing about the runabout is they can tow a Cardassian Gala class warship.
10.
Yes, exactly.
The computer was no help whatsoever.
That's happened to us before, and
Yes.
I believe Tabby was at the wheel then as well, but not that I'm holding that against him.
The computer was not much help. I'm going to assume it's due to the interference coming off this station. But despite that, because you've spent momentum, you actually do land just fine.
There's much to be said for landing.
Yes. So
Anyone you can walk away from?
Absolutely. The shuttle lands near the outpost's closed hangar doors. You're going to need your environmental suits, but you're already using them to get in. Right. Once you land and step out of the ship, there is no one outside, so you're okay there, and you're able to use the manual override panel to unlock the airlock and step inside. So,
Well, let's do that.
Ready, people.
sorry, the computer just hung there, and I didn't hear what you said.
I said, phasers ready, people.
Yes, your phaser rifles. Ooh.
Yes, probably for the best.
We
Well,
don't know how many hostiles there are.
well,
Nope.
indeed, we're probably going to find out very soon. Let's open this airlock and pass through it.
Okay, you step inside, and you're in a corridor. It's a standard Klingon-looking place. It's a bit dirty, a bit grimy. You're down the corridor. Down the corridor, you can see a transporter room. And what else can we see? Okay. At this point, are you wanting to do a scan for life forms just to see what's up?
Yeah, I'll do a scan for life forms.
Okay.
Now that we're closer.
Okay. I'm going to.
I've got my tricorder.
Is that the remote control for your TV?
Depends on which one.
I like your style. Where's my tricorder?
Well, it could be this TV's control, it could be the other one.
Hello. Does anyone else want to scan as well? Because you can actually assist one another. Hey,
Make
you've got the same one.
Make it so. Yes, but mine's gone all yellowed with time. It's gross.
Oh,
I've been looking online to replace them, and they're there if you pay. You know, you pay for them. People, I think, 3D print them and paint them up themselves or whatever,
cool.
and they look quite nice. But I want to, for the one time I whip it out on YouTube or whatever, like, is it worth £80, 80 American dollars probably?
Yeah, I can imagine it. That's a bit of a cost for just whipping it out every now and again. Mine needs new batteries though. I've worn it out.
I think I took my batteries out of this one. They're in my phaser because
You've got a phaser.
I have. Yeah.
Oh,
Just a phase you're going through.
all I have is a communicator. I can't find it. Okay, I can. Did you just shoot us? My goodness.
My light bulb's gone out though, so it's a bit knackered. Although there's little screws, I could probably change the bulb or something. But actually, there's a story about that. The phaser, the props on Star Trek, if they would push the button, it had a light in it as well. But people kept pushing them when they weren't supposed to, and they had to paint it out in post. So they decided, it'll just be easier to take the light bulbs out and just put it in post, like put the, it's because we're having to, we're inordinate amount of time painting out misfires that it would be cheaper to just disconnect the light bulb or whatever they were, or the LED or whatever it was, and just paint it in when we want to use it. I thought that was cute. It was kind of like with the old Wonder Woman and her bullets bouncing off. She had a little firing mechanism that would spark, and so sometimes you see her bouncing bullets off of her arms, but you can see the little controller in her hand if you freeze frame.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Someone on eBay selling a tricorder for £11.69.
That's not bad. Although, if it's this particular one, the little one that comes in the little blue box, then they're actually about a tenner on Amazon.
Well, it looks like one of these new ones to mark 30 years of the next generation.
Oh,
They
wow.
do look like a mobile phone from about 2005.
They really do.
And what do I need to roll for this?
Okay, so who's going to be doing this?
Well, I'm going to scan for life forms.
Okay.
What are the totals you need?
Insight plus science.
Okay, let me
10
toggle over.
10 for insight and 5 for science, so 15.
15's not bad.
I've got 10. Yeah, same here. 15 insight and 10 and 5 for science.
2d20.
Okay, so since Farron said first, if you could roll 2d20 and Lieutenant Dowd, if you
13 and 5.
One moment, if you could roll 1d20 to assist.
Sure.
Yeah. Patrick, what did you have?
13 and 5.
So you got 2 successes?
Let's see. Roll dice. Oh, I got a 17. I wasn't much help there.
No problem. 2 successes is enough. The tricorder is picking up life signs in the lower level of the outpost, but it's unable to distinguish the life forms from each other. You're able to see a schematic of the facility's ground level, which shows a turbo lift approximately 20 meters from your current position. So, would you like to?
Being herded. We could go to. So what's in front? What is available to us? Turbo lift and a transporter room.
You see the transporter room. The transporter room you can see because it's right at the other end of the corridor. Basically, it has a door that in Klingon says transporter room. That's how you know it's there. However, if you want to use a momentum, we could get more information from the scan. That's what's in the document here. But I'm not going to railroad you. You can have a look around this level. It's perfectly all right.
Well, I'm just wondering if, if there's a computer interface in the transporter room, or if it's just how on like Star Trek they could, you could do anything from almost any console. Like I'm going to reroute engineering controls to the Mr. Mott's, barber chair or something. I just wondered if it was, if we would be able to get, be able to tap into any systems from the teleportation chamber or whatever transporter room.
Quite possibly, but if you want to have a look around the rest of the level and see if there are any other places, that's perfectly fine too.
Okay.
I'm not trying to railroad you. I've given you options.
No worries. No, shall we have a butcher's?
Exploration is probably a good thing. We can gather information and make informed decisions about how to progress.
Okay.
And whether or not to blow everything up.
Fair enough. Okay, so besides the hangar and the airlock, this top level of the station contains the empty quarters where the outpost's guards and commander used to live. You also find communications and sensor stations, a mess hall, excuse me, the kitchen, and an antimatter reactor. Except for the reactor room, this level appears to have been completely abandoned and left in a state of extreme disrepair. The reactor, however, has been restored and recently maintained. A device connected to the reactor appears to be doing something that it shouldn't. It's amplifying the natural disruptive field of the diamagnetic core.
Well, there are quite a few questions
better
arising out
scan
of
that device.
So Patrick wants to scan the device. What were your questions, Tabby?
Well, first of all, you referred to the guards as being abandoned. I thought that this was an outpost where at least some people were present.
Yes.
And were expected to be present.
Yes.
How long have these guards posts, or how long does it appear that they have been abandoned?
It appears that they've been abandoned for several months. There's a thin layer of dust. And also, it's not like the outside is starting to creep in or anything like that. Things aren't falling apart, but it's clear from the dust that no one's disturbed this area for quite some time.
So this is a recent abandonment, fairly
Yes.
recent abandonment.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the next step is this device attached to the reactor. How do we know what it is, or how do we know that it's there? And what information do we have about how it relates to this reactor?
Okay, you know it's there because it's a different color to the metal of the reactor. It's like it's a foreign object that's been attached to it.
Okay. And interesting.
Sorry, what was your other question?
I think how much is it interfering with or how much is it increasing the interference or the subspace interference being caused by this diamagnetic material?
Okay, for that, I will need, let's have a look, an insight plus science check.
Okay. Let's have a look. So science is 2 and insight is 8 in my score. I'm not sure whether someone has a higher score.
I think it's 17, but let me just verify that. Insight and science, you say?
Yeah.
Insight is 10 and so 15. Sorry, 15.
Perhaps Dowd had better do it in that case, unless Ferengale has an even better score.
So is that conducting a scan of it, like metallurgical, spectrographic, all that kind of? Try to figure out not only what is it doing to what extent, but also where it might have come from.
Okay, in that case, I will need like I say, insight plus science, and because Tabby asked the question, I am going to say Tabby has to roll first with an assist from Captain Dowd.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is that 2d20 for Tabby and 1d20 for me?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
So I've got 15 and 20.
Okay.
And I've got 14.
So, What you can tell is that this field that's coming up there, it's amplified a lot. Normally, a diamagnetic field could be compensated for easily by your sensor scans and tricorders. The fact that this area is almost swamped by interference suggests that this thing is amplifying the natural diamagnetic field by quite a substantial amount. As for where it's from, it appears to be Federation technology.
Oh, there's a turn up for the books.
Yes. Is there a way that we can disable this? Because this seems to be an instrument that is being used by malefactors from what we can reasonably infer.
Yes, you can absolutely try and disable it, but I will need a reason plus engineering task, and this will be a difficult one. Because
Just to pull the plug. Heavens.
Well, I've got to read 8 and 1.
Okay, reason 11, engineering 2 I have.
Sorry, hold on. Come on. Reason is 12, and what was the other one? Engineering? 13. So sorry, a total of 13.
So I've got the same as Dowd.
Okay.
Okay, so who wants to do it, and is anyone going to assist?
But is this are we trying to do what we call, what is it, a graceful shutdown, or are we just going to shoot the connection between the two? Well, I guess we shouldn't be shooting at warp cores or antimatter things or whatever.
I highly recommend you do not try to fire at the reactor.
Yes, let's not fire at reactors, shall we? Let's do the graceful shutdown. Shall I start the roll for Dowd to support? So let me find my dice.
At this point, I'm going to introduce one extra feature that is allowed in Star Trek Adventures. Because I was thinking about this the other day. We have never called for assistance, but there is an interesting mechanic in Star Trek Adventures where you get to play extra characters as if they're an NPC, and you can call for backup. So if you want, you could attempt to contact the ship through the interference, which would require one of you to go back to the shuttle and ask for backup to be beamed down. Like a couple of
they send us one of those little, was it Kinzer or Keyser, or who's that little guy with the eye stalks who helps Scotty? What I forget.
Oh yeah, I can't remember it. I can't remember the race.
You eat a bean and you're full.
That guy was cool.
I loved him. Get off that. It's not in a climbing frame.
But of course, you can't just go for it yourself. But the option is there if you want to request some NPCs.
How difficult is this task? Do we know?
It's a difficulty of 3. You need 3 successes.
I think we probably better call a backup in that case, hadn't we?
Yeah. Get a little Kinzer or whatever his name. What was that little thing's name? Hey Siri.
I can't remember.
Who was the little engineer guy who helped Scotty in the 2009 Star Trek movie?
Okay.
Keenzer. That's
Keenzer.
We need a little Keenzer.
So whoever's going back to the ship to call for backup, I'm going to need you to use a control plus command check.
That's 8 and 4 for me, so that's 12.
I've got 11 and 4.
Not bad.
Oh, that's better.
Oh, it sounds like Patrick. I've got 9 and 2, so it sounds like Patrick has a better score for that.
Okay. Farron, could you roll 2d20?
15 and 13.
So you've got your score was what?
11 and 4.
So, but you got 2 successes. Okay, yeah, you're able to contact. The ship will beam down a couple of people. Let me just quickly do a quick.
Make sure they're not ready outside, but
I'll go quickly check what the computer is doing.
Are we wearing the grey uniforms that they wear in later seasons of DS9?
Yep. You've got two engineers are able to beam down to your location, and you can all go through. So you've got a couple of extra NPCs around who are going to help you by disabling this thing. Yeah.
Seems
Yeah.
sensible.
I think
Okay.
it's probably a good idea.
I just
Be
need a
back in
quick.
a sec.
Sorry.
Although, are there any other reasons that someone could have for trying to augment that diamagnetic field beyond interfering with communications, teleportation, and all that sort of stuff? Could it be a life requirement for these? Are they trying to kind of make their, make the environment easier for them to live in?
That's
It's
a good
just
question.
a question.
That
Well,
is a good question.
it is a question.
Okay. Right. They're able to disable the thing. That's not a problem at all. They're able to disable that. So we'll deal with that in a second.
Sure.
Right. Let's think what you would need for that. I'm going to say insight plus medicine.
Let me. Insight is 10 and medicine is 4, so I got 14.
I've got 12, so I think again Farron is probably in the better position than I.
Okay, do you want to roll 2d20?
Of course. I got to add another one there. Okay, 2d20. 1 and 19.
There is no information in our Starfleet databases to suggest that the neural parasites require any kind of electromagnetic field interference of this sort in order to stay alive. That it's not part of their natural requirements.
Okay, well.
So you're likely to find that they're using this thing to try and hide.
Okay, well, we're not having that because I think where did I put you guys? Oh, there you are. Okay.
We're over here. Hello.
Yeah, I'm trying to close a bunch of things because
I'm just joking with you. Don't worry.
No. I didn't take it as anything else than that.
Sorry about that. Little Miss was scratching at the door.
Yeah, cats will do that.
Yeah, the back door. She managed to get out.
Oh. She needs to defend her territory from other cats.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we've just increased our tactical advantage, including beam outs, communications, those kinds of things. Hopefully, yeah.
Yep. So what we've done now is you've managed to remove the device and turn it off. It looks like there was some kind of alarm system installed in it. It was attached to the security system, and the engineers have managed to bypass that as well. So whoever is here still doesn't know you're here.
Oh,
and
very good.
Is it all Federation tech? Can we have any clue as to where this thing has come from?
It isn't standard Starfleet stuff, but the materials are clearly Federation. It's using isolinear chips, and it's got the standard Federation operating system, civilian operating system, not LCARS. This is definitely a device from the Federation.
What's the standard of the engineering?
It's pretty good, but it's not up to Starfleet standard.
Are we able to take the device back to the shuttle to do a forensic analysis on it? Maybe there's traces of, cellular residue traces or mitochondrial DNA that we could look at.
I like how you guys think. That's a really good idea.
As long as it's not a food replicator.
It's not a food replicator. Okay. Yeah, you can definitely go and do that. You go back to the runabout, and I am going to need from you guys for this one reason plus medicine.
Okay, so reason is 12 for me, and medicine is 4, so that's a total of 16 for me.
I've got 11 and 4, so 15.
I've only got 11 and 1.
Okay, so Lieutenant Dowd will be doing the procedure with an assistance from Tabby, I suppose?
Yes, why not?
So
Okay.
2d20 for me and 1d for for
Yep.
Tabby. Okay, so I've got 19 and 14.
Okay, that's
Let
one
me just
success.
re-roll this one. I've got 14.
And you were what was your total again?
What was it? Reason and what was the other one?
Reason plus medicine.
Medicine.
So 11 plus 12, 13.
So one success in total. Okay, there is Trill DNA on this device.
Trill, is that a brand of bird food?
Trill is a species in the Federation. A species
Interestingly enough, they are a conjoined species. They carry around parasites too. Well,
Think gold
symbionts,
from
not
Stargate.
parasites, but
Sorry, what were you saying there, Fern?
I said think gold from Stargate.
Yeah, the Goa'uld, yeah. On the Trill usually keep their symbiote, they call it, in their stomachs.
yeah.
And it's more like a blended consciousness rather than the neural parasites which try to take over the body.
Yeah, that's why Cisco was always calling Dax old man.
Yeah.
Quite.
So there you go. Trill DNA.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
How far away do the trills normally reside?
I can find that.
Obviously, Dax's family have been selling secrets again.
I can find that because I have a map.
Must be said from map.
Okay, Trill. Okay, they're actually more closer to the Cardassian Union than they are to the Klingons. They're hundreds of light years from the Klingon border. They're essentially on the other side of the Federation to where we are at the moment.
Okay, well, had we better radio back to the ship and alert the captain as to what we have found, so that he or she or it can make such necessary communications with the Trill about the infection as may be advisable?
That seems like a good idea.
Yes. Well, now that we've reduced the interference, we can probably do that more easily, can't we?
It's very easy. In fact, if you tap your communicator, diddly deed, you can hear the bridge.
Well, let's do that now, shall we?
Okay, who's doing it?
What are the metrics you need for that?
None.
Or you don't?
I don't.
Okay.
It's just a role-playing
okay.
possibility, you see.
Well, let's do that.
I imagine it would be Farron as the ranking officer on this, unless we beam down a commander from the engineering corps.
Well, the engineers are not commander. They don't outrank any of you.
Okay.
So what orders do I need? So what do these two clowns want to do?
Just ask the captain of the ship to let the Trill know what we have found, so that they may take such infection control measures as may be advisable in the circumstances.
Well, or at least inform him of our findings so far.
Yes.
I don't know that they're conclusive to any. We just know that a Trill handled this thing, this device.
Commander Farron to Enigma. Contact Trill Homeward and repeat to them what Tabby and Dowd have said. Over.
Enigma to away team. Did you say Trill?
Yes, I said Trill, you deaf. Bleep, bleep, bleep.
Okay.
Heavens.
Oh, okay. Lieutenant Commander, you're on report. This is the captain speaking.
Still no excuse for acting like a deaf git.
It seems that the atmosphere down there may be affecting your decisions there. Are you okay? Do you need a medical team?
No, I'm perfectly all right, thank you.
Very well.
We can explain briefly to the captain the situation and that we have found.
We found Federation technology handled by the Trill, or we don't know who. We found no Klingons.
Right. Well,
and Tabby still hasn't found any Klingon version of catnip.
Well, good luck with that one. Keep us informed. we'll contact the Trill and ask what they're doing in Klingon space. Keep us informed. Bridge out.
Best thing to do is contact DS9 and get Quark on the line. If they know, if someone knows, he will know.
Yeah, we'll phone Quark. Okay. Right, guys. What is...
So, well, we have a few options, I suppose. We could continue to look at this deck. There was the reactor room, I think, and the device has been dealt with. The kitchen doesn't sound like anything we want to raid or have a snack in. But there was some, what was it? There was some, the empty quarters. What was this thing I wrote down? Oh, stations. There was some communication stations and something else.
Yep, communications and sensor stations, a mess hall, the kitchen, and the reactor.
So maybe we could go there for little decorators and maybe look and see if we can get any logs.
Okay.
Well, then we ought to go to the runabout, leave, then download any logs.
You want to leave?
Yeah, leave before something else goes wrong, and then download the logs.
Had we
in
perhaps
safety?
Not leave just yet, because we know that there are some life forms on this in this planet or this moon, and that they are. We can infer there's a high chance that those fellows are infected. We need to deal with that, don't we? Otherwise, this infection may spread further.
Well, we need to vaporize it just to. Well, we need to go back to the Enigma and new kit.
I think perhaps vaporizing a planet with that stuff on it in that level may cause some significant difficulty. So perhaps vaporization may not be the way to go on this particular occasion.
We've already destroyed a base. I think the Klingons are only prepared to stretch a point so far.
While I appreciate the desire to nuke the site from orbit because it's the only way to be sure, it might be worth. It might be worth having a look around.
We need to be sure. And if I could talk to Chancellor Martok, I'm sure he'd agree with me.
Okay.
Are you sure you want to go over the captain's head like that?
You might be on report.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not entirely sure.
You may find yourself in the bridge.
Lieutenant, my father is Bajoran ambassador to Kronos, so I can get to talk to Martok whenever I want.
Well, that and a strip of lapinum may get you a jumjaw stick, but I don't know what that has to do with anything at this moment in time.
You're on report, Dowd.
Well,
oh my goodness.
My aunt is Loaxana Troy, heir to the holy rings of Beta Z, and all the rest of it.
The sacred chalice of Rix.
The sacred chalice, holder of the sacred chalice.
The one who heir to the holy rings. Married a changeling.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying, if you persist in badgering me, I think she's about ready for another bout of the phase, going through the phase again, and I'll give her your address and phone number. And
you're definitely on report. Commander Enigma.
I'm sure she's a very generous lover.
While you're having a tiff, I'm going to have a snooze. Please wake me up when you've finished.
Oh my goodness. So from what we've got here, we're thinking of going and having a look around.
And also being carried directly to the brig for sleeping on duty.
But in the meantime, Ferrin wants to blow up the station, and Lieutenant Dowd is trying to set Ferrin up with his aunt. Is that? Have I got this right?
Well, more like sicking her on him, I suppose. Well, I think we need to do a couple of things. Recce for as much information as we can get,
okay,
to sort of get a timeline of what's going on if we can, and then I think we need to figure out who these residents are and what, if any, threat they pose or what, if any, assistance they require.
Okay, parents of Annabelle want to beam aboard.
Oh. Oh
Sorry,
my
excuse me a moment.
No, it's fine. I just got a twinge in my neck and caused a jolt, and then my neck popped back into place. I hadn't even realized it was out of joint. Oh, that
that's much
feels so much
ridiculous.
better.
And we were here for that.
Excellent.
Oh, I'm all right now. Right.
Indeed.
Parents of Chief Medical Officer, I order you to relieve the captain on grounds of medical incompetency.
I would have to certify that, and there is no evidence. Okay, no problem. Okay, while Farron's taking a call, you guys, what are you doing?
I believe we're
Well,
playing Star Trek Adventures, aren't we?
Hiding all his phases, I think, while he's distracted. So, well, what do you reckon, Tabby? Should we have a look around?
I think that we had
at the
better have a look
stations?
around. I mean, there are
Yeah.
several possibilities, aren't there? One is that everybody here might be infected and that we need to eliminate them. The other is that some people might be infected and some people might be hiding from those who are infected, and we need to rescue them.
Well, exactly. Who's hiding from whom is the question. Are the Klingons hiding from these infected Klingons? Are they infected Klingons trying to, propagate and do it in secret? Yeah.
Do we have any idea where this alarm system led? That was the engineers disabled. We've got a whole lot of us here now.
Yeah.
The engineers disabled the alarm system. Do we have an idea to what it was connected, or can we find that out?
The engineers say it was connected to an alarm system that led downward
Oh,
Downward.
onto the lower level.
Right. Are the engineers armed?
The engineers have their phasers with them. Yes, their
Okay.
standard hand phaser.
Shall we
And
all go to this lower level?
It's up to you guys.
question first, which may elucidate. My character is a Betazoid who's a telepath, and because I was able to determine numbers and things, but I don't know if my character's ability can tell whether someone's infected or they're not. I'm just wondering if he were to send out sort of a passive scan now that he's on the surface, what he might glean from that. At the bare minimum, could he find out where the people are, how many of them there are, and best case scenario, would he be able to determine whether they are infected, uninfected, friendly, hostile,
Right.
details like that.
That is a good question. What would I need from you for that?
Full telepath, otherwise he'd be Troy saying, I sense danger. And then saying, I've done my bit, I'm going back up to the ship.
I'm going to say you would need an insight, and I'm going to say security on that one. Insight plus security.
Ugh. Insight, I'm okay with. Security, I think I'm a bit wank. Hold on.
I've got a 10 and a 1.
Yeah, but you're not psychic. This is a psychic thing.
Insight is 10 and security, so 11 is my total.
Okay, roll 2d20.
Oh, bugger, there goes my pen. Almost lost that. 2d20, roll. 10 and 6.
10 and 6. So that's two good results.
Yahoo!
Oops, I pressed the wrong button there. Where is it? There it is. That's the one I wanted. To bring that back, I had to quickly check on something, you see. 10 and 6. So 2 results. That's a good result. 2 successes. I'm just going to quickly find out how many people there are.
Okay.
Oh, come on. How many of them are there? So there are 7. There are 7 people below.
How many there are there of us?
4. No, 5. Sorry.
5 of you.
You've got the
2
engineers, yeah.
engineers.
And as for whether they're infected or not, unfortunately, you can't distinguish that. Because I'm remembering this show. It would have been very, very quick if Troy could have seen things.
Yes, but Troy's only half Betazoid.
True, but you still
She's
can't.
only an empath. She's not telepath. But, well, except in the movies when she needed to be, they sort of let her, you know.
Well, perhaps perhaps she got better at it from practice.
Well, yes, exactly. Well, but I think they were fairly consistent, though. She tended to be telepathic with other telepaths.
Yes.
Whether it was a Riemann or whether it was a Can or whatever, but or other Betazoids. And then Bill. Can you still read my thoughts, Bill? Who's Bill? Oh, Will, right. Anyway, yeah, they abandoned that little pet name as soon as, didn't they?
It was weird though, because it kind of fed into the Espers from the one of the first original series pilots, didn't it? Since when would a human be able to read the mind of a Betazoid and things like that, and be able to communicate with each other?
Yeah, and how would a non-telepath teach someone to be telepathic? But they also abandoned that because she was never able to actually have telepathy with him again. It was only with her mum or, you know, other telepaths.
I'm going to blame the change to the timeline from when Tasha Yar went back in time on the Enterprise C. Something happened, and all of a sudden, the Klingons were...
She wrecked every Betazoid.
Yes, and also the Klingons weren't part of the Federation anymore. That's what happened.
I think they're now part of the Federation anyway.
They were in the first...
terms.
They were part of the Federation in the first season of TNG.
Is it?
Yep.
We're getting perhaps
Not
slightly
more than
tangential
just
to
allies.
particular quest.
But then again, season 1 of TNG, I tend to avoid a lot because I don't like that season much.
It's not a great season, but it was very interesting. All of a sudden, the Klingons were part of the Federation, and then all of a sudden, they weren't. And I'm very much on the side of what Law Reloaded suggested, which is that something happened when the Enterprise C came through the time warp in yesterday's Enterprise.
Still a great episode.
So
love it. Yeah. Absolutely love it.
All that I can say is let's do the time warp again.
Krista Duke says they're heading off to bed. Thank you for coming along, Krista. Take care.
Oh, I keep forgetting we're on the YouTube.
Yeah, we're broadcasting live across the planet and to other star systems who can get YouTube. Hello.
Yeah.
We come in peace.
Well, and so maybe, and this is maybe for Tabby, the only way people were then able to sort of determine whether someone was infected or not, besides the gill in the back, was to sort of trip them up with personal questions, because they tended to be vague about the past, the memories. I don't know if that's particularly helpful, but since the telepathy isn't going to work.
If we can gauge by looking at the back of these fellows' necks, is a cat not quite stealthy that could go and look at them without being seen and see whether or not they appear to have things at the backs of their necks?
Yep. Go ahead, Tabby.
You
We're firmly behind you, but several paces.
Volunteered himself.
You can certainly try. I won't say no.
So let's try doing that and just see if we can very slowly look in on these fellows from a distance that we may see the state of the backs of these people's necks.
Okay, so
Do we know what species? So they are Klingon. Do we at least know that?
you haven't seen anyone yet. Oh yeah, but from your telepathic thing,
Yeah.
there are Klingons, some Romulans, and a
Oh.
Trill.
Klingon. Oh my! Klingons, Romulans, and Trill. Oh my! That's interesting. I don't know what to make of that. Well, because Klingons have a lot of hair, so that'll be difficult to sort of get a gander at the backs of their necks. Romulans tend to wear their hair a bit on the short side. You might have a look. You might have even the girls, and Trill. It's anybody's guess.
Trill have different haircuts, but Romulans are the easiest because they all have elf ears and ball cuts.
Exactly, and a widow's peak.
Yes. Well, let's
then
see.
We're going to have to get in the turbo lift and go down, is it? Or are you going to go through? Are you going to do a Die Hard and sort of go through the air ducts, and hopefully that movie trope of any air duct leads to any place you want to go will be in effect.
I think we'd better use the air ducts. I do have infiltration on my focuses, I notice, and survival, and running, and composure, all of which seem to be potentially relevant to this particular task.
Yes.
So is Farringale just going to drop you down a shaft or something, or?
I'm not sure the shafts they could drop
I'm just going to throw catnip down the shafts.
I'm not sure that's going to help.
Getting your Catman crewmate high may not be the best method.
Yeah.
Well, if there's a way to get him to do his job, then why not?
But I'm going to be doing the job anyway, so I think we're probably fine. So do I need to be throwing some die at this stage?
I'm going to say, given that I just rolled two massive failures to see if anyone spots you as you go down here, that it doesn't matter what you roll, you can infiltrate by climbing down the air vents.
All right. Well, let's do that then, shall we?
I got 2 critical fails. You could take a brass band down there. No one would notice.
Do we have a brass band?
I'm not saying you should do that.
Well, rather
I mean, if it's an option.
So, as you climb down the ducts and enter the lower level, you find on the floor by the turbo lift nearby a dead Klingon. Slumped in the entryway to the infirmary, down near the turbo lift. His body is preventing the door from closing all the way. But this Klingon, you're not entirely sure it is a Klingon when you first look at it. He's incredibly deformed. He's got thickened cranial plating, huge tusks, and an exoskeleton is breaking through his Klingon warrior uniform.
Well, we told last time what that means, don't we? Which is that these little parasites are trying to get to them, and the parasites cause this reaction in Klingons, don't they?
Well, can we have a look at? Can we turn him out? Well, before that, maybe we could turn him over to see the state of his neck.
At the moment, the only person that's on that floor is Tabby. I thought Tabby was sneaking ahead to see whether it was safe.
Yes,
I'm probably I'm probably wedged in the passage and can't get through.
Yes, let's just carry on sneaking through to see whether it's safe, because the dead fellow is not by himself a threat.
True.
Well, but would you not want to see the status of his neck?
I think we know, don't we, from the exoskeleton and deformations, that this is sign of past infection. Unless we can tell from the neck whether the infection is persisting, is that a thing? But I'm not sure that they died.
If it's still in there, or if it's been removed, or if it moved house, or.
I think we know from past experience, don't we, that whenever their host dies, they leave very quickly. If you recall the first episode, as soon as we phased this chap, the thing came out of its mouth straight away.
That is true.
So I think
better be standing by with another phaser.
So do you want to you want to check the body or scan it, or just?
I suppose we can scan now, can't we? Because our interference has gone down. So let's do the scan as you suggest.
Okay. Could I have a reason plus medicine?
So reason is 11, and medicine is 4.
Okay.
And you want 2d20, do you?
2d20, please.
So I have 13 and 11.
Okay, that is 2 successes. What you can tell from this is that there has been extensive genetic modification on this Klingon. This is not just some random mutation. It's genetic modification. However, the neural parasite is still in the body. It's dead, but it's still in there. And he only died a few hours ago.
Neural parasite died a few hours ago, or Klingon?
Both. They seem to have died at the same time when the Klingon's body rejected the modifications.
Okay.
Mm.
And these, can we tell whether these modifications are ones that are caused by the parasite?
These do not appear to be caused by the parasite. This is something that's been done to this Klingon.
Okay. So from that, in turn, we can infer that there is some other. We had some ideas of some experimentation occurring. We can infer there's some other sorts of experimentation occurring.
Yes.
Do we know if the parasite is a juvenile or a mature?
Good question. It is mature. So I take it Tabby is communicating this back to you guys?
I'm whispering, yes.
Well, you have to speak up. I can't hear you from down. Oh, through your communicator.
Through the communicator. So what I'm going to say now is that since Tabby's at the doorway, you can see into the infirmary. Inside the infirmary are more corpses.
Oh.
The infirmary is empty, save for the bodies of several other Klingons.
Do they appear to be similarly mutilated or similarly deformed?
All of them are in some form of mutation. So they've all been mutated in some way.
Had we better bring the brass band down now?
Okay, the coast appears to be clear. Do you guys want to climb down the vents or use the turbo lift?
My only concern is that the turbo shaft may, if it starts, if it may alert people to our presence, which is so far. We have the element of surprise thus far, I think.
Mm-hmm. So far, you have, yes. Which is why I was asking if you wanted to use the turbo lift.
Yeah.
Maybe not use the turbo lift.
Sorry?
Shall we maybe not use the turbo lift and retain the element of surprise?
Okay.
Yeah, shinny down the pipe or whatever.
Okay, let me just quickly. You are perfectly fine to come down the turbo lift. I am not rolling well tonight.
Oh, we can use the lift.
Sorry, yeah, you can go. Sorry, you should not go down the turbo lift. I didn't roll for that. I rolled for you coming down the ducts, didn't I? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You're perfectly fine to come down, and the engineers are coming with you, I suppose. Or are you leaving them behind?
Should we take the engineers and the brass band?
I sort of wonder if somebody should be. Well, we haven't triggered any alarms with that thing. I wonder if we should leave somebody in with the device in case. Of course, I don't like the idea of leaving one person by themselves. Oh yeah, no, the device is in the car. We left it in the car, didn't we? Sorry, in the runabout.
No, in the...
We left it in the estate.
In the boot.
It's in the Renault.
It's in the ship, yeah.
Yeah, our little Vauxhall runabout. Okay, yeah, so yeah, I guess they should come with us.
Okay, so all four of you. It takes a bit of time, but all four of you are able to quietly climb through the air system, and you're down at the infirmary. So, surrounded by dead Klingons. What do you do?
Can we? And so, are they all in the same state? In other words, they have mature dead parasites in them.
Okay. I will need you to. If you want to do that and scan them, it's reason plus medicine again.
Okay, I think that's 15 or 17. I can't remember. Reason is 12. Medicine is 4, so that's 16.
Yeah,
And 2d20.
please.
Oh, I sent this computer away to get gingered up, and it's slower than ever.
I know that feeling. I was almost late to the party tonight because my computer decided to reboot on it by saying, "Oh, there's a major error," and then all of my hard drives weren't there.
That's bad.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I plugged them back in. It was fine. It turns out I must have knocked the computer last night.
Yeah. Yes. This is decidedly suboptimal. I find it's better to have a computer with hard drives connected rather than disconnected.
I know, it's so annoying that you have to actually physically plug these things in.
10 and
Yeah.
8.
Okay, that's pretty good. So I'm going to say you've got 1 extra momentum, which you can use to get more information if you so prefer.
Oh, does that bring us back up to 4?
It would, but if you want to spend it getting more information from your scan, that's perfectly fine too.
Oh, sorry. I didn't listen to the other half.
Don't worry about it.
What do you reckon, guys?
I'm fairly in favor of spending it. I think more information is valuable to us at this time, and we have enough spare momentum for the coming fight, which I anticipate will take place at some point.
You can't take it with you, can you, Tabby? And you've got 9 lives, so you know.
I think I've got 8 left.
Yours is a long way off.
Okay,
Go down
so
to 8. Okay.
each of these Klingons also has a dead neural parasite in it. Each of them has genetic modification to both the Klingon and the parasite itself. They're all mature parasites. The Klingon DNA appears to have been modified by the parasites, and from what you can see from analyzing the genetic information, they have attempted to modify themselves to evolve along with their host bodies into one entity. They're trying to create a singular creature, but instead it appears that they're devolving into a large predator like a proto-Klingon, but not quite. The genetic modifications to the Klingons are definitely more advanced than the ones that we saw on the station. And in order to increase the likelihood that all of these modifications worked, you find Trill DNA in the modified Klingons.
Oh, I see. They're mixing DNA from different species in order to make this modification work. And the parasites are trying to infect the Klingons successfully, presumably in order because the Klingons are rather good at fighting people and they're rather good at helping to take over things.
All the Klingons have got Trill symbiotes.
Sorry, Farron?
What if the Klingons have got Trill symbiotes inside them?
They don't appear to. It's still just the neural parasite, but that is an interesting possibility. If they've got their genetic code, they might be able to accept a Trill.
So it's interesting I wonder if the Trill are complicit or if they are merely sources of genetic material that it sounds like the Romulans are trying to well, it's interesting. This is a Romulan experiment. We know that from the station. What are the Romulan? They're experimenting on Klingons using these modified parasites, but they're trying to create something that they're almost and they're trying to make a more integrated entity, integrated being, not a parasite taking control of a host. They're trying to create more of an integrated.
How intelligent are these parasites, do we know?
They do seem to be rather intelligent and also quite cunning.
So you see, this may not be a Romulan thing. The parasites might be infecting the Romulans. And it may be being led by the parasites, not by the Romulans.
Perhaps, yeah.
But in either way, we really don't want parasites successfully taking over these Klingons, because they seem to be rather sturdy, robust fellows who are good at fighting people, as we said last week, and it's probably not ideal that they be able to be taken over. So we better find, hadn't we, what's been occurring and destroy the things that are causing it to occur.
Oh, here's my. Here, these are the ones I was looking for. Day 3. No, these are case notes. My goodness, where am I? What I'm trying to look is when we found the genetically modified, the Klingon that was actually a Romulan. I can't remember if that Romulan stroke Klingon had been infected or not. Do either of you remember? Is Farringale still with us?
Yeah,
The Romulan was actually
still
a
there.
Oh,
Klingon.
okay. Oh, sorry. I think I can see a hint of spectacle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Farron's
Okay.
sitting the same way that I do in a lot of my live streams, accidentally sitting off to one side so you can't see it. I
So
do
it's
it all the
alive.
time. It's
Your
terrible.
shoulder is hosting your live stream for you.
Oh, is that the chap in disguise
Yeah,
who was then
There was
also
a-
infected?
there was a Romulan pretending to be a Klingon. Yeah,
But was he
Yeah.
infected? That's what if he were infected, I think that would give more credence to your theory that maybe it's the parasites are driving, they're at the wheel. I just can't remember if we scanned that. Do we have to get back in the car, go back to that satellite, to that
Well, it's blown
station?
up, wasn't it?
you might find it difficult to go and check.
Oh, that's right. Well, maybe
Yeah.
his body is floating around somewhere. We could tractor it aboard.
Seems
Oh.
unlikely.
Okay, while you guys are trying to work that out, Farron, what are you up to? Patrick? Patrick, are you still there? I'm wondering, is he sat off to one side or has his computer frozen?
I can see slight movements, but maybe the neural parasites have got him. I don't know.
I can't tell. Right. Okay, you're still there. I'll just send him a message in the chat, in the private chat. I don't know. So, okay, well, while I'm waiting for an answer,
Mhm.
so what's your next move?
But do we know? Did we determine whether or not that Romulan, that disguised Romulan, had been infected or not? Did we?
He
Was
yes.
determination made? He was infected.
He was infected, yeah.
So then, yeah, I think you're right, Tabby. That maybe these parasites are trying to prompt the next step in their own evolution.
Patrick, are you okay?
Not really.
Oh.
Oh, do you need us to? Do you want to head off?
I just have a bad reaction to my heart meds.
Oh,
Oh, poor chap.
that's not good news, dude.
God fell asleep.
All right. Do you want to, guys? Would you be okay if we called it a night early so Patrick can get a bit of rest? Because
Of
I'm
course.
a bit worried now.
I'll be all right.
Are you, dude? You don't look it. I'll tell you now. You're looking quite a lot of pain.
I'm always in pain.
I know the feeling, but even so,
Why don't we call it a night? You get some you do some self-care, Farringale, and without us distracting you or worrying you, and we'll come at it fresh next time.
Or I can go and you two can carry on.
It wouldn't be the same. I'm in favor for calling it
all right, guys.
a night.
This is
Go
a decent place to end, because we are at the end of what would be called a scene in the adventure. So there we go. Okay, I'm going to say we stop now. Guys, go and get some rest, man.
Yeah.
Get better soon, Patrick. I
Yeah.
hope you feel
Yes. Feel better.
Go get yourself some rest, man. We'll call it night here, and we'll come back next time.
Well, it's a good job the bed's over there.
Yeah, you'll be all right. Just get yourself some rest, and you'll be okay. Take care, guys. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
along tonight, and to everyone in the audience who's joined us. Thank you so much. Take care, and I hope you've enjoyed
Sorry
the show.
about this.
Hey,
No, not at all.
real life comes first. Your health is
Yeah.
more important than the game, dude.
Yeah. Don't give it another thought.
Yeah, take care and have a great night. Bye for
Bye,
now, guys.
everyone.
Cheers.
Bye. And where's the button?